Hey, I'm Amy Chang. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and this is Healthy AF. In this podcast, I'll be bringing you all things health, from the newest health strategies to how to tackle those personal roadblocks that just will not let you move forward. So buckle in. We're going to be inspired and instructed, and dadgum, we're going to have a little fun on Healthy AF. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF. It is August. What? So the theme for this month is physical environment. It's funny, when I made out my calendar for themes of the month that I saw popping up in my client population of like challenges that they see in their health, one thing that comes up that sort of surprised me: physical environment. Well, then when we really started like working on it and getting our hands in it, everybody kept bringing different aspects of that. And I thought, it's probably good to do a whole month on what is your physical environment? How does it affect your health? How does it affect your life? So I wanted to just record this first week in August to get your gears really turning about physical environment and the impact it has on your health. Now, I can tell you we're going to have a couple of guests this month, which I'm excited about, to really take a deep dive into some of these different facets. But I just want to pull into your field of view all the different ways you're impacted by physical environment. So, when you start thinking about physical environment, you might think about like, well, the room that I'm in. Is it well lit? Is it dirty? If you look at low-hanging fruit, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like you need a place that's not dirty. And when I mean dirty, I don't mean like I just came back from the beach and there's some sand on my floor from my feet. No, I'm talking about dirty like germ dirty. Like there's dog poo on the floor and you just stepped in it with an open wound. That's dirty. Okay. That nursing background, there's a wide spectrum of what your physical environment has to look like and where safety lies. Safety lies down here with like dirty, like lots of germs, not clean, nobody washing hands, diseases spreading, right? Untreated water. Okay. Those are your big things. But then you come up a little bit on the spectrum of dirty. What about clutter? How much clutter is too much clutter? I can tell you that some days when I start to sit down and do work, the very first thing that has to happen for my peace of mind is that desk has to be cleaned up. I cannot function unless that desk is cleaned up, right? So it might be that visual clutter that we talk about our physical environment. Another aspect of your physical environment is light, natural light. Are you under fluorescents all day? Are they blue lights? Are they blue fluorescent lights when the sun is down and it's impacting your sleep? Do you do that thing where you've got on your blue lights in the morning and then as the sun goes down, you put on your yellow lights so that you can calm down, right? So all of those things are physical environment. What's your access to the outside? Can you get outside? Being outside is coming up more and more and more in research that our connection to nature just is one of those facets of a healthy life. Period. Don't know why, can't explain it, but it sure does come up in all the research, right? Can you get outside? And what's your outside look like? Are you living in New York with a little balcony that's the size of a postage stamp, but at least you can get out? But when you get out, all you can see is concrete. Can you actually get to the ground? Can you get your feet in grass or sand or dirt, right? The good dirt, not the highly contaminated dirt, but the dirt, the God-made dirt don't shoot, I can't say that. God-made dirt don't hurt. If any of y'all ever heard that, if you're not from the South, I'm sure that you are rewinding the tape to go, what did she just say? Yeah, I said that. God made dirt. Dirt don't hurt, right? Are you getting your feet in that on that real ground? You know, do you see beauty in your natural environment? You know, some of us have houses in the mountains and we can look out over the mountains, and that's so beautiful. Or maybe on the beach and we can watch the ocean and the sand. You know, what's the difference in having a outdoor yard or space where you can be in and enjoy the beauty of that nature? Is your physical environment that's outside and beautiful completely saturated with mosquitoes? You know, are they carrying the dengue fever? Right? So, like, actually, that's something to consider when you look at your physical environment. So now we've talked about dirt. We've talked about visual clutter. We've talked about lighting. We've talked about access to outside. We've talked about what your outside looks like. We haven't even begun to talk about toxicities, right? What are you eating off of? What's in your water supply? Is your house heated and cooled? You know, we came back one day this summer after a speaking engagement in Raleigh. We came back that night. It was 80 degrees and humid inside my house. It was not a pleasant night. Thank goodness for air conditioning. We got it fixed the next day, right? We've seen how the temperatures are becoming more extreme on either end, and we've seen mortalities because of that. And areas where I was just talking to a friend the other day who's out in Oregon, and she mentioned, yeah, it's not too smoky today. Well, that's something that in North Carolina I don't have to deal with. And she said, you never know when it's going to be a bad day to be outside. It depends on which way the wind is blowing. Wow. And then she went on to say she had air conditioning, so she could go inside and turn on the AC and be somewhat protected from that smoke. But a lot of people in that area didn't have air conditioning. So where was there to go? So we're looking at all those things. When you start thinking about your physical environment, you start thinking about all those things. Then there's another one that, you know, we tend to tiptoe around because, you know, I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling or anything, but toxic relationships and attitudes and energies that are hard to take. You know, I think we've all had that person in our lives, either at work or in our families, or maybe a mom in the mom's group, that person at the gym who is just a negative Nelly. Maybe they're really struggling with something. I can tell you what, I've been that person. When my marriage, I don't know how to say that, like it ended. It was an implosion. It ended in a crash and burn kind of sense of the way. I was not pleasant to be around. We actually had a trainer at the gym tell the other owner that he didn't want to be around me. And I don't blame him. I was on the struggle bus for a long time. So what do we do when we have that kind of energy and that kind of toxicity in our environment? Sometimes we can change our environment. I can clean up my desk. I probably can't change somebody else's attitude, especially when they're going through some kind of grief or life change. So how do we handle all those aspects of our health? That's what we're going to be diving into in August. So I wanted to just do this very first podcast here in August just to get your wheels turning a little bit. My physical environment and how my health and my life is impacted by the things that are around me that I can control, by the things that are around me that I cannot control, right? I've got this quick and easy example that I love. And if you love bathroom humor like me and my daddy did, then you're going to think this is hilarious. And if you don't like bathroom humor like my mama, then you might be rolling your eyes and saying like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's talking about that. So I was having a conversation with my daughter one day, and we were talking about what to do when there's a person who might have some kind of toxic patterning or just that negative Nelly kind of vibe. And it's harshing your own ability to be healthy. And I said, Maggie, it's like, say you fart and I'm in your fart bubble. I have a choice. I can get out of your fart bubble, but the fart bubble is there, man. So, I can either move a few seats down and get out of it, or I can stay there in it and just breathe it in and deal with it. So you have some choices in the fart bubble of negative and toxic behaviors and attitudes. I just love saying that on a podcast. It's a fart bubble, man. You can choose. Get out of there or stay there. And sometimes we stay. Sometimes it's really uncomfortable and smelly to be in somebody's fart bubble. But we know that their guts are just torn up. And they really need us to be there. And so we just stay in the stink for a minute. And then when we need to get our own healthy air again, we leave the bubble and rejuvenate. So start thinking about those toxic bubbles that we get in. What is it? Is it literally someone's fart bubble? My daddy could tear you up. Is it really that? Is it the lighting that's really harsh? Or the lighting that's not there and we feel a little depressed, especially in the winter? Is it not being able to get outside? Is it too many cloudy days in a row? Can't do anything about that really unless you want to travel. You're stuck in that bubble. So start those gears turning. What in your physical environment are you noticing that makes an impact on your health, positive and negative? I'm going to leave you with that right there. We're going to come back, and next time we drop a podcast, we will be talking about organization and the impact that really having all your stuff, everything has a place and everything is in its place, the impact that that has on your health. So like, subscribe, and share this podcast, please. Give yourself some grace when you're in someone's fart bubble. Give yourself some grace when you are the fart bubble. And I will see you next time on Healthy AF. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Healthy AF podcast. I hope that it has helped you create a new possibility for your health and sets you into action to go get it. If you want more information or if you want to connect with me, visit my website at myhealthylife.coach. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that each new Healthy AF episode will be sent directly to you. Let's take you from where you are to where you want to go.